This video is going to be about friendship and my experience of it, because I kind of realised that I didn't want to just commentate about the gameplay. I wanted to include some of my own experiences at the same time. My experience with friendship is that I've been pretty isolated in my life, and I've, over the years, come up with ways to deal with that. Like, for example, I'm interested in the other person because there was this thing called NCS, and like, I was the nerd. Obviously, I'm making a TF2 video. I was the nerd. No one wanted to talk to me, and the one time where I actually succeeded in talking to one of the people my age was when I asked them questions about what they were talking about, and it didn't last very long, but they were quite happy with how it turned out. Like, they listened to me and they talked to me, which was certainly helpful. So tip number one would definitely be show an interest in the other person if you want to build a rapport or like a relationship to start off with. Yeah, that's how I did it, and that's what I do from now on, and I've made a pretty decent amount of friends, because I'll be curious about what they're interested in. Most people are just looking for something they can share, you know. Second tip would be, if everyone in that group is excluding you, then either you're doing something wrong or you just don't want to be in that group, because they could be fucking with you. I don't know how I didn't get that kill, by the way. I did 78 damage, I didn't even get an assist. Either you're doing something wrong and you're being a douchebag, in which case you should just go back to being interested in the other person. And if being interested in the other person doesn't work, then you're not going to be able to be friends with those people, because no matter how hard you try, they don't see you as one of them, and their group definitely doesn't include you. And you can try all you want, but it's not going to get anywhere, and it's only going to leave you in quite a dark place. I haven't made a lot of friends during the course of my life, and that was partly to do with me being a douchebag, and partly to do with the circles that I hung around in, just generally being pretty antisocial. Outside of school, I have next to no contact with people I know at school. I'm at college right now, English college. But I definitely have more than I used to, which I think is definitely a good thing, because you know, you need social interaction in order to not go crazy. And I mean, I am crazy, but you need it to not go into, as I've said before, a dark place. So tip number 3 would be reach out. I have this friend, my best friend, who I've known for pretty much all my life since I started education, reception, and we were close for a very, very long time, and it ended up being in a situation where he goes to a different college now, and I go to a different college as him, so we don't really communicate anymore. And I've tried recommending games, and he's only really interested in this one game, so it's got to the point where we don't meet up anymore. But I still count him as my friend. My advice there is, even if you feel you're putting all the effort into the relationship, and if that's something you feel able to do, this is tip number 4, would be go ahead, because relationships are good things, and you want as many of them, as many healthy ones as possible. I mean, if putting all the effort in depresses you, then don't do that shit. Because it did with me for a while, but I've learned that when I reach out to him, he will respond and we'll have a conversation, and I'm okay with that, because maybe he's just not good at initiating conversation and he wants one. I don't know his situation, and I can't read his mind, so I ain't exactly in a position to judge, if you get what I'm saying. Tip number 5 would be find common ground with anyone, because no matter how isolated you may feel, there's always going to be a group or a person that shares the same interest as you. Like, I have a very, very diverse taste in music, and I like pretty much everything except death metal, which was the end of one of my friendships. There was a reason for it. So I was able to, I tried to form some friendships based off of the interest in music I had. I mean, not that many people were into music in my secondary school, but it's a good idea. Like, a lot of people make friendships through football, through FIFA, video game sports. So if you have a common ground, on FIFA it's an equal playing field. If you're good at FIFA, they'll accept you as long as you're not bragging or an arrogant douchebag. So all you got to do there is have a shared interest with someone and be a good sport. Tip number 6, and I know this one's going to sound kind of pathetic, is take whatever communication you can get, because the more you communicate, the better you're going to get at it, and the better you get at it, the easier it is to become friends with people. So if you can communicate with your parents, because your parents will put up with shit that most people normally won't, which kind of leads you to worse behaviour. So try and be the nicest possible person you can around your parents while still making it sort of natural, and then see how they react to that. They may go, you've been replaced by an alien, but then at that stage, I mean, like, what can you do? You're an alien now. It's your official title. Yeah, definitely take all the communication you can get and measure people's reactions if you can. If you're not able to read reactions, then I guess you could ask them to directly explain it to you. They may not want to do that, but it's always worth asking. There's definitely no harm in doing so. I think that's all the tips I have for right now, but I'm not going to end the video. I'm going to talk about my personal experience of friendship, which is I have no idea how to communicate with people. I'm not great at boundaries, so I don't know when to message them, so I leave that up to them. And then people don't tend to keep relationships that they put all the effort into, because they've always got that someone who's willing to initiate contact, and they'd rather someone do it than them have to remember it, or at least that's my view. So I've always never really known what to do in a situation where your friend is asking something of you that you shouldn't necessarily agree to, or your friend is not actually your friend and you don't know that. I'm getting a lot of messages from Noel at this point, my apologies. I eventually snap and I'm like, recording, and then turn my status to busy after I get one from another friend. The Liberty Launcher is so scout countery. It's not a word. Yeah. My view there is, if you think what someone's asking you to do is dodgy, or if someone's bullying you and you can't really tell whether it's jokey, the way I do it is, if you're having banter with someone, banterousness, and they aren't, they're making these jokey insults, and they don't kind of at the end say, no, I'm just kidding, or you're a good guy, or you're funny, or at least compliment you in any way. I'm not going to continue listing examples, that's ridiculous. If they don't do that, that's bullying and that's a toxic ass friendship, because what are you gaining from that apart from low self-esteem? So I just recommend leaving that situation as soon as you can. I'm the biggest try-hard sweaty scout in the universe. But I hate the Natasha. If a relationship with a friend doesn't give you anything positive, then it's a bad relationship. And I think that's self-evident, but it isn't said enough, you know? And that's pretty much all of the stuff I have to say. I mean, I have more content that I recorded, but I was just using that as backup. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, which I'm probably going to discuss taste in music. And probably not political beliefs, because yours aren't going to match with mine now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.